Okay, let's dive right in. We're looking at some absolutely incredible, powerful art carved into shell, stone, and copper by the Mississippian people almost 1,000 years ago. And here's the thing, this is so much more than just pretty decoration.
Yeah, I mean, what if this was actually a language? Like a visual epic, packed with gods and monsters, heroes and cosmic battles, all just sitting there, waiting for someone to figure out how to read it.
So the key to cracking this code is something archaeologists call the Southeastern Ceremonial Complex. Now, don't let the fancy name fool you. Just think of it like a shared religious and mythological playbook, a whole network of beliefs that connected people across thousands of miles in ancient America.
So to even begin reading this language, we've got to understand the world it's coming from, right? We need the map before we can even start to follow the story.
And these artists, they saw their entire universe as, well, kind of like a three-story building. Seriously. You've got the above world, then the middle world where all of us humans lived, and then this mysterious beneath world. And each floor, each level, had its own set of rules and its own incredibly powerful residents.
So how did they connect all these worlds? Well, that's the crucial part. They imagined this central pillar, what's called an axis mundi, that basically ran through all three levels. Sometimes it was a giant cedar tree or maybe a striped pole like you see in some of the art. And this thing held their entire cosmic map together.
And this right here, this shows you the central conflict of their whole belief system. You had the above world, which was all about structure, order, stability, home to these beings called the Thunderers. And then you had the beneath world, its total opposite, a place of chaos, darkness, and immense, kind of scary power, ruled by the great serpent. These two worlds were basically locked in an eternal struggle.
Okay, so we've got our cosmic map. We understand the layout of their universe. Now we can finally start to decode the symbols themselves. Let's think of them as a visual dictionary, right? One that tells us where all the characters and all the action is happening on that map.
Okay, take a look at this. This is the forked eye. It's actually based on the markings of a peregrine falcon, which is pretty cool. But think of it like a cosmic GPS. When you see a character in the art with this marking around their eye, the artist is basically screaming at you, hey, this guy's from the above world, the realm of order, the sky, the falcons.
And then you have this, the OG. It's the complete opposite. If the forked eye is all about the sky, the OG is a portal to the underworld. It's a doorway to the deep. When you see this symbol, you know we're talking about the beneath world. We're talking about caves, chaos, and the great serpent.
So once you know the code, the art just comes alive. You're not just looking at a cool pattern anymore. You're actually reading a sentence. The artist would combine this whole vocabulary to tell these absolutely incredible stories about the supernatural beings from all these different realms.
All right, we've got the setting, we've got the vocabulary, so it's time to meet the cast of characters. Let's dive into the gods and monsters, the key players in this whole cosmic drama.
First up, representing the above world, we've got the main hero, the Birdman. This guy is a total powerhouse. He's often shown as a falcon dancer, and he's basically the avatar for warriors. He stands for order, stability, and he's always fighting against the forces of chaos. And in the other corner, we've got his main antagonist, the Great Serpent. This is a massive, powerful creature from the beneath world. It's a being of incredible power, and it's the perfect symbol of chaos and everything unknown. But there's one hero who's a little more complicated. He doesn't really fit neatly into either box. He's a central figure in these myths, a celestial being known by a bunch of different names, like Morningstar, for one. But his most memorable name, the one that really makes you stop and go, wait, what? Is he who wears human heads for earrings. I mean, just imagine that. This is the great hero, Redhorn. And this is where it all comes together. The map, the symbols, the gods, the monsters, they all collide in this one epic story, the legend of Redhorn. And it's a story that's been passed down for generations by the Ho-Chunk people. So the story goes something like this. Redhorn and his buddies get challenged by some giants to a series of high-stakes contests, life or death stuff. In the first round, a ball game, the little heads on Redhorn's ears started talking and made the giant star player laugh so hard that she totally messed up and lost. A pretty wild trick, right? But their luck didn't hold. The giants won the next two contests, and tragically, Redhorn and all his friends were killed. But, this is a myth, and in myths, death is hardly ever the end of the story. Turns out,
When he died, Redhorn's 2 wives were both pregnant. They gave birth to his sons, who were born with that same red hair and, you guessed it, a destiny for revenge.
And these were not your average kids. The older son, born with living heads for earlobes, just like his dad. And the younger one, get this, he had heads where his nipples should be. They were literally born warriors, ready to go after those giants and reclaim their father's honor.
So the boys use their powers, they sneak into the giant's village, and they steal back the heads of their father and all his friends. And they bring them back to life. Just amazing. And this symbol here, the bilobed arrow, a lot of scholars think this is actually Redhorn himself. Because in another part of the myth, he literally turns himself into an arrow to win a race. How cool is that?
And that's really the whole point. You have an entire universe on a piece of stone. This whole thing, a 3-level cosmos, a cosmic war between order and chaos, this epic story of death and revenge and resurrection, all of it is packed into these elegant symbols carved into a simple piece of shell.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Once you learn the language, you realize this ancient art isn't just decorative. It's a library filled with lost epics. So what other incredible stories are hiding out there in plain sight, just waiting for us to learn how to read them?